All right, motherfucks. Let me tell you this, all right? A while ago, I spoke about how I was going to do these videos, right? About, they're kind of like cultural topics, if you will, but it's more about building confidence and kind of being what I perceive to be a correct type of human being, right? Because there aren't that many correct human beings out there as role models, right? I mean, there's a few harmless ones, like nobody's mad at Ryan Gosling for existing, right? Nobody gives a fuck. But it's the idea that, like, there aren't enough good examples of what works, right? Of what works in getting people to like you, on what works in getting girls to like you. So if you have any questions like that, your boy, the expert. I got about 55 years of knowledge, and I'm only 33 years old, motherfuckers. So keep that in mind, right? So what we're going to talk about today here is being your own biggest fan. I know, it sounds cliche as shit, but it's true. And I don't mean this in the sense of, like, you know, you boost your own ego, like when you're down, you pick yourself up. None of that. We don't do cliches around here, all right, motherfuckers? We don't do cliches. What I mean by being your own biggest fan, right, is simply one thing. It's really, really not that complicated, right? It's just this. People in life, right, people that love you sometimes, people that adore you, even your parents at times, right, will doubt you. You know, everyone will doubt you. It's just the ways of the world. Some people will doubt you because they don't believe in you, which is fine. They can go fuck themselves. And some people will doubt you because they're afraid that you will accomplish something. I know that sounds weird, but it's true, you know? Even people that love you, I don't think this is like a conscious thing. It's a subconscious thing that we do to each other, right? Where we doubt the things that someone says or wants to do because we don't really want them to achieve it, because then by comparison, we look like assholes. We look like losers, right? This is pretty much the entire premise of social media, if you think about it, right? The entire premise of social media is let's all pretend to be someone we're not, right? And compare these fake figures that we've created, right? The other self, as we say in sociology, right? So there you go. This entire thing, or the looking glass self, one of those motherfuckers, one of those. So this entire thing, this entire video is dedicated to that concept, right? The concept that people will doubt you for more than one reason, right? It doesn't always mean that they don't think you can't do it, right? The only person you can really rely on is yourself. I mean, I know that sounds cliche because, and also it sounds like I'm saying nobody's out there supporting you, you know? I have a lot of support in my life. A lot of people love me and a lot of people care about me and want me to do well. No doubt about it, right? But when I tell these people, I want to do this thing, right? Some of them might be like, that's not a good idea. Like, for example, if I told my mom tomorrow, I'm like, Mom, I don't want to work anymore ever again in my life, and I want to just, like, I don't know, play video games for the rest of my life, right? She'd be like, son, I love you, but, you know, you probably shouldn't do that, right? And that would make sense, you know? I mean, I don't think that that's like a unreasonable thing to say, right? But on the other hand, when people tell you not to do things that really mean something to you, right? Really, really mean something to you, or maybe they don't realize how much it means to you, but you tell them, you're like, I want to do this, and they tell you, nah, you shouldn't, right? A lot of times, I think that comes from not the best place, right? Try this, motherfuckers. Try this. Try these two little exercises that I've invented just now. Find 10 people, tell them a goal that you have. See how many of them come back with either negativity or some other subtle kind of like undermining or some subtle jab at you. Like, oh, you won't do this. You always say, like if you're someone that's ever tried to quit smoking, for example, right? Tell your friends, right? Be like, I'm going to quit smoking. I guarantee for most of us, the majority of our friends would be like, nah, you can't do it. You're never going to do it. You said you'd quit last time, right? The amount of support that people like give is very, very limited, you know? And a lot of times I feel like when they do give it, it seems disingenuous, right? So that's what I mean when I say be your own fan, because you're your biggest fan, as a matter of fact, because you know yourself, you know what you want, you know what's important to you, right? Not pick yourself up, but have confidence and faith in the things that you want to do. Have faith that they will bring you pleasure and joy and happiness. Things that other people are not equipped to judge with respect to who you are and what your goals are and what your wants are, right? So if I were to tell people a year and a half ago, and I'm not bragging about my mediocre, I'm saying modest YouTube channel or anything like that, but if I were to tell people, right, none of my friends really know that I have this channel, right? But if I were to tell people, I do feel like they would not want me to do it, right? For whatever reason that may be, but I don't think that the responses that I would get would be net positive. So I don't really see the point in telling people that, right? And this brings me to exercise 2. Go to someone, right? And I'm not saying YouTube is my dream or anything like that, but go to someone and tell them your dream. Just be like, my dream is this. And when I say dream, I mean the thing you want the most. Like for some people, it might be, I want to marry Jessica Alba, let's say, right? If that's your dream, tell people that. Almost always they will laugh at you. Or they will have some sort of dismissive shit to say, right? I understand dreams are unattainable, right? A lot of times. But someone has to attain them, motherfucks. Someone has to marry Jessica Alba, right? And there is absolutely no harm in thinking that someone could be you. That's what I mean by when I say be your own biggest fan. Someone has to do it, right? Someone has to be the next president. Someone has to be the next Elon Musk. Someone has to do these things. Why can't it be me or you? You know what I'm saying? It could be. And as a matter of fact, what if you try to do it and you don't end up with Jessica Alba, but you end up with, I don't know, who's another actress, right? Jennifer Lawrence, fuck it, right? You end up with someone else that might be similar, that you might like the same, right? The point here is this. If you don't believe you can, why would anyone believe that you can, right? And I will leave you with an anecdote of a friend of mine from college who, unfortunately, this is not even relevant, but who unfortunately died in his sleep randomly while in college. He had like some arrhythmia of the heart or some crazy shit. Really nice guy, man. Really nice guy. I mean, he and I weren't like super close friends. We met at orientation, but I always respected him. He was always a great person when I'd see him on campus, right? And one time we're walking in campus and we see this girl, right? And this girl, I don't remember her at all, like in terms of like what she looks like. And my friend sees her and he says, man, look at that girl. And I look at her and I'm not really that impressed. I'm like, oh, okay, she's all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was like our first or second week of college. So I'm like, all right, like it's college. Like, there's got to be better looking girls, right? And this guy, who is not like a hideous beast or anything, and the hater, who dare I say, is a handsome devil. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're walking down there and he says, yeah, but she's out of our league. He says that to me, right? And I'm like, first, in my head, I'm like, first of all, don't ever compare me to you, all right? We are not the same, motherfucker. Number one, I have a very high opinion of myself. And two, what I actually told him was this, as a joke, of course, because he was a friend. I said, listen, bro, she may be out of your league, but nobody is out of my league. Do you understand me? Nobody. Nothing in this world do I look at and think, this is unattainable for me. I believe that I can. You know what I mean? And even when I doubt myself, I still try, right? Sometimes I get unmotivated, like for example with this channel, right? My growth rate now is starting to catch up and be commensurate to the amount of work I'm putting in. Because for a while, for the last 6-7 months maybe, I haven't really been putting out that much work, right? I haven't been putting out that many videos or anything like that. Not how I started, right? Because when I started, I was, invigorated, like I got like 2 subscribers, then like, the Fiendish 4, all that shit, right? And eventually I'm like, oh man, this is kind of cool, right? And then eventually I started gaining more subscribers and I got complacent because I had reached my goal. My ultimate goal was to get 100 subscribers the first year. That changed to like 500 in the first 6 months. I was able to achieve that and everything else I kind of fell off, right? But now I am reinvigorated. Do you want to know why? I'll tell you why, motherfucks. Because nothing is unattainable to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't consider, of course, plenty of things are unattainable to me, right? I know that if I start, trying really hard in basketball now, I'm not going to beat LeBron James next year. I understand that, motherfucks. But I do not believe like that. I don't think like that. I think to myself that if I really were to put every second of my life, right? Every second of my life for the next year, I think that I would have a shot against LeBron James. Now, of course, again, I know that that's not realistic, right? But who the fuck knows? Maybe if I do that, I might not be LeBron, but I might be someone that's like better than an average college player, right? You know what I'm saying? If you put in the amount of work, a lot of things are possible, And a lot of times you will be satisfied with those results because when you get them, you'll be like, holy shit, I was able to do this. I know I was aiming to do 10 times this, right? But I was able to do this. Like if your goal is to become the next Elon Musk, but you just happen to become, I don't know, the next Vince McMahon, which would obviously be better, right? That's a pretty sick life, right? You know what I'm saying? It's a pretty sick accomplishment. So that's the way I see it, right? A lot of people that I admire have this kind of mentality in one way or another, right? Nothing is unattainable for you. There's absolutely no reason why if you were to like a girl, you should ever think to yourself, she's out of my league. Why is she out of your league? Like, is someone else better than you? And if so, why? And what can you do to be like them? Or to surpass them, more importantly, to haunt their dreams, to be the guy that they look at and say, holy shit, this guy, he might be behind me a little bit, motherfuckers. He might be a few yards, a few meters from my European fans. He might be a few meters behind me, motherfuckers, but he's catching up. I am moving at 10 steps an hour, and this guy's moving at 10 and a half. He's moving at 11, It might take a while, but he will get there, right? That's the key. That's the key. And here's what I'm going to do, motherfuckers. And I suggest all of you do it. No matter when you happen to stumble upon this video, upon this motherfucker, right? I'm going to go and I'm going to make a chart when I get home. And the chart is going to have two versions of me, right? One is going to be me and my new goal to lose 15 pounds by the end of this month, right? And I'm going to track the things that I do, right? The decisions that I make. And I'm going to have two charts. One of them is going to be what happened, the decision that I made, versus the decision that I didn't make, right? So if, for example, today I get hungry and I want to eat a piece of cake, right? I'm not going to eat that piece of cake because I have the willpower not to, because I know my goals, right? And on one column, I'm going to say did not eat cake. On the next column, I'm going to say did eat cake, plus, let's say, 1,000 calories, right? And in 1 week, I will see all the little strides that I made, all the little wins that are adding up. Didn't eat this cake, worked out today, right? Slept on time. You know what I'm saying? Did my videos, motherfucks. Did some work, right? Looked for this opportunity. Looked for that opportunity, right? Improved myself as a human being, as a man, right? And then at the end of the week, I'm going to look to see how many good decisions did I make, right? And I will be immensely proud of each and every one of those little wins, because in the long run, they will add up to a real victory, to a success of my goals. Mark my words, motherfucks. I don't know if I'm going to do a video, if I'm going to remember, but I will eventually tell you guys if I did or did not lose those 15 pounds. And you can rest assured, it's going to be a yes, motherfucks. It's going to be a yes. Nothing can stop me, you understand me? Nothing can stop this. And I want everyone in the world to have that mentality, right? Because then, nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. We'll all find our happiness, right? Or if we are happy, like myself, and like I hope most of you, who I'm sure are happy people, we'll get even happier, motherfucks. We'll be happier with goals achieved, right? So let's get it, motherfucks. Let's not dick around anymore. Today is the day. Today is day one, motherfucks. Day one, motivation one. Be your own biggest fan. And if anyone else tells you otherwise, tell them to kiss your ass. That's what I think, motherfucks. Deal with it.